I've seen around 3,400 films in my lifetime, and of those 3,400 films, I've given a total of around 85-star, 10 out of 10 perfect ratings. Here is every movie I've rated to date a perfect 10 out of 10 score to add to your watch list. People have asked for an updated version of this, so here it is. Parasite, a movie that I would argue is as good as advertised. Oppenheimer, one of the great blockbusters of the 21st century. Dune 1 and Dune 2. Shame, one of the greatest anti-war films ever made. The Big Heat. This is Heat. Hard Truths, Mike Leigh's masterpiece, one of the best films of the decade and criminally underappreciated. Through a Glass Darkly, another Bergman to add to the list. Kes, one of the greatest UK films ever made. The New World, what I would consider to be Terrence Malick's best ever work. The Ascent, another one of the greatest war films of all time. Shane Meadows' This Is England. Hero, perhaps the most beautiful film to ever grace the screen. Uncle Boom Me Who Can Recall His Past Lives. Ghost Dog: The Way of Samurai with Forest Whitaker, perhaps the coolest movie ever made. Red Rooms, one of the greatest sequels of all time, The Bride of Frankenstein. Now we're talking. Wallace and Gromit: The Curse of Were-Rabbit. Lars von Trier's magnum opus, Dogville. Brian De Palma's Blowout. Big Scorsese fan, I think Scorsese's best of the film is Silence. I actually think we're in the best stage of his career right now. Late stage Scorsese is the best Scorsese. Akira Kurosawa's Ran, it really is like seeing colour for the first time. Stanley Kubrick's Paths of Glory. First Reformed. This probably has like the best performance ever from Ethan Hawke. Billy Wilder's masterpiece, Some Like It Hot. Fritz Lang's Metropolis. Mummy from 2014, one of the best films I would say of the 2010s, easily. M. Night Shyamalan's Signs. One of the most soul-touching horror movies ever made, Kiyoshi Kurosawa's Cure. Another M. Night movie with Unbreakable, I would argue one of the greatest superhero films ever made. Willy Wonka, I watch this every year and I have done for a very long time. Lost Highway, of David Lynch's best works, I think this is his very, very best. Another Scorsese with After Hours. One of my favourites and doesn't get spoken about enough among the likes of, Goodfellas, Taxi Driver, etc. Another Lynch, The Elephant Man. Talking about beautiful films, Barry Lyndon. Talking about beautiful films, Bram Stoker's Dracula. Talking about beautiful films, Amadeus. Titan, maybe the best film of the decade, or at least up there for me. Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing, a Spike Lee joint, some might say. Another Bergman, Persona. Another Kurosawa, the blueprint for all modern day action blockbusters, Seven Samurai. Home Alone 2, switching it up a little bit, Another Lynch, Eraserhead. I think one of the most sad and devastating films ever made, also probably the best debut from a director of all time. Terminator 2. From the genius that is Paul Thomas Anderson, I think his best work is Phantom Thread. Hot Fuzz, and you can't have Hot Fuzz without Shaun of the Dead. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, one of the best, most genre-defining films of all time. Heat. Pair that with another Michael Mann, Thief. Ho, another one on this list, Memories of Murder, I think his best work. Furiosa, my favourite film, maybe of the decade, honestly. Apocalypse Now, another great war film. Zone of Interest. The Thing. Perfect Blue is perfect. Another Lynch, final one, I promise. Mulholland Drive. One of my favourites of the decade, Banshees of Inisherin. Spider-Man 1. Spider-Man 2. 3 is also close. It doesn't quite make it, though. Portrait of a Lady on Fire. Killers of the Flower Moon, another late-stage Scorsese. Old Boy. All 3 Lord of the Rings films, which have been my favourite films for 20 years and will continue to be. 2001: A Space Odyssey. Alien. No Country for Old Men. Goodfellas, as referenced earlier. Aftersun. Beautiful film. Talking about director debuts, by the way. Harry Potter and Prisoner of Azkaban, my favourite from the franchise. Taxi Driver, another Scorsese. Matrix. Godfather. The Shining. And my favourite Miyazaki, Spirited Away.